Look at us, Mama. This trace is about done for. And Uncle Ben never even noticed.
Your uncle's been sick, Greenberry. He's been writing day and night to finish that almanac in time.
Well, I don't think he's well enough to make that long journey to Baltimore town. You ought to tell him.
You ever tried telling Benjamin Banneker he shouldn't do something when he set his mind to it? I've tried, Greenberry. I've tried.
Well, I can take his manuscript to the printer for him and make him pay the right kind of money this time, too. Uncle Benjamin ain't got the business head of a half-wit child.
You sure about that, nephew?
Meaning no disrespect, Uncle. But just that you always letting everybody...
Let everybody take advantage of me, huh? Well, we'll just have to make sure they don't do it this time. Greenberry.
Your medicine bed.
Yes, Molly.
Sure you feel up to making this journey?
Yes, Molly, I've got to. Here's next year's almanac to get to the princess. 1797 is nearly over. The season and the stars wait for no man's good health. At least I've never known them to wait for mine.
Greenberry, you packed them sickle pears for the printer's wife?
No, Mama, I didn't. I ate them. Every last one.
Greenberry, you didn't.
I packed them, Mama. Get up. What you doing with your money, Mama?
Just making sure it's enough.
We're gonna buy you a fine clock with what you've got there, Molly. I promise you.
Yeah, I reckon it won't be as fine as yours, huh, Uncle Ben?
Your uncle was younger than you, Greenberry, when he made that clock.
22 years old. I know, Mama.
And it still strikes the hour as good as it ever did, even after all of those years.
What you make Mama want, Uncle Benjamin?
Clockmaking is for young eyes, Greenberry. I don't see well enough for that kind of work now.
You see all of them stars clear enough.
Remember how folks used to come by the house just to hear it strike, Molly?
And get a free meal, too.
Folks always took on so strangely over it.
Well, I guess you should be used to folks acting strangely about things you do, Uncle Benjamin.
Maybe I should, Greenberry, but I'm not. Certainly not about that ugly old clock of mine.
Well, I sure hope I can get one as good in Baltimore, Ben. Greenberry, son.
Ma'am?
You watch yourself there. Them city folks is not like us. They'll cheat you blind.
Oh, Mom, I know how to take care of myself. I just can't wait to see what Baltimore town's like.
I hope it don't start you to hankering for city life now, son.
Greenberry's not going to have time for city life. Not with all that farmland he's got to look after.
You mean what's left of it? You ever regret letting all this go, Uncle Benjamin? This was all your daddy's land, right?
All this and more. 100 acres all told.
Your uncle was a thinking man. He had a burning to study the stars, write them almanacs, and that's what he done.
20 years ago, all I did was work this land. Tobacco fields, orchards. Only folks I saw were family. Free blacks were spread pretty thin. Not much around but wilderness till the Ellicotts came. Quakers from Pennsylvania coming down here and changing the life of the whole Patapsco Valley with the notion of putting a grist mill right in the middle of tobacco country. By 1774, the mill was working, but the Ellicotts kept right on building. First, a town with a school, a store, post office, even a bridge across the Patapsco. And then, finally, a road to Baltimore town. And I spent a lot of time looking at that mill. Wanted to figure out those gears, same as I did the ones in the clock I made. Took a while before folks began planting grain as well as tobacco. Used to bring it to the mill and watch it being ground. Met the Ellicotts about then. And nothing gave me more pleasure than my trips to their company store. Used to drop in to pick up the mail and buy supplies, but often that was just an excuse to linger, listening to the conversations of folks passing through and to gossip with friends. I looked forward all week to those visits, and I guess we all began to feel a new sense of community there. I'd listen to the news from the colonies and feel a surge of excitement and curiosity about that world beyond the valley, a new country full of change and growth and struggle for independence. There were moments at the Ellicott store when I felt touched by history.
Quiet! Quiet, everyone! Quiet! Listen to this. The Maryland Journal. Boston. That certain valuable cargoes of teas, being the property of the East India Company, and on board certain vessels lying within the harbor of Boston, were seized and knocked to pieces and flung over the side.
And that's only the beginning.
Hold your tongue.
Unless they lower the taxes.
Wait, let me finish. The commerce of His Majesty's subjects cannot be safely known as that the part officers remove... Ah, here it is. That from and after June 1st, 1774, it shall not be lawful for any persons whatsoever to load and ship from any wharf within the said town of Boston.
Besides running the store, Joseph Ellicott was known throughout the colonies as a maker of fine clocks. Major Andrew Ellicott, military man, accomplished surveyor, later commissioned by George Washington to lay out the federal territory. And George, the astronomer, who became my friend and teacher, welcoming me into his family. It was George who took me from my work on the farm and introduced me to a whole new world, the map of the sky. He lent me books, calculating tools, a telescope. He even sent me a table to work on. And my love for mathematical puzzles when I was a child was rekindled as I learned to study the stars.
What you looking for?
See the man and the girl on the road?
No.
You're a bounty hunter?
Who you niggas belong to?
We belong to nobody. We're free.
Got your freedom papers to prove it, nigga?
This is Benjamin Banneker, author of the Banneker Almanacs.
Don't give me no talk about an almanac. Let me see them papers.
I got them here somewhere. I'll look. Here. And we got copies at home, too. So don't go try to steal them and kidnap us back down south. Or the Ellicott family will be on you so quick.
Molly.
You don't quit talking, I'm gonna shoot them horses, then you can't go nowhere. Where you headed?
Baltimore town.
What you plan to do there?
Spend the night with friends.
Name of?
Waddington, the printer.
Are you now? All right, get this heap out of here and get on your way.
Freeze
Don't be frightened. I saw you when you ran in here. Maybe I could help.
Say real quick what you're doing here or you're dead.
Don't, Elijah. Don't kill him. He says he can help.
Who are you?
My name is Greenberry Martin. I'm a free man. I live around here. Hey, you're runaways, ain't you? A bounty hunter's after you?
Why, you aiming to help him?
No, of course not. I told you I want to help.
Willow, my wife, escaped from south of here. She needs papers. I already got mine.
Well, if you can make it to Baltimore town, there's a printer there that could help. Jonas Waddington.
Greenberry, you had no right to endanger Jonas and Sarah.
What was I supposed to do? Sing him a hymn and wish him luck? I had to help.
I know you did. But it's not safe for them. And as for Jonas...
Oh, hell, I couldn't ask him first, Uncle Benjamin. He ain't here. We gotta help him.
If they don't get caught first.
So few times we can help each other. Seen my people bought and sold into slavery ever since I was a boy. And most occasions, there was nothing I could do. Thank God the family's free, even though the law of '83 took away our vote and just about every other right except owning property. Been a struggle for us, too. My father, Robert, a slave from Guinea, worked a good long time before earning his freedom and buying those 100 acres. My grandmother, Molly Welsh, a servant girl on a farm in the west of England.
What's the matter, John? What's wrong?
The morning milk is missing, sir, and Molly stole it.
You lie, John!
You stole the milk.
No, sir, it was an accident.
Why'd you steal it, girl?
No, sir, it was the cow kicked it.
You know what happens to people who steal milk. You're a thief?
No, sir. No, sir, blame the cow. It was an accident.
And a liar! You're going to pay me for that milk, one way or another.
And pay she did. Shipped to these colonies like thousands of others, where she labored as an indentured servant for 7 years on a farm in Maryland. In 1690, she was finally given her freedom, and along with it, a gun, supplies, and 3 barrels of Indian corn. 2 years later, she bought her own farm. It was hard work for a woman, alone, struggling to survive in the wilderness. Constant battle to grow enough crops. But Molly did better than that. She made the farm yield enough corn, enough tobacco, that soon she could afford 2 slaves. Wasn't long before she freed one and married the other, my grandfather, Banneker. He was the son of an African chief before being brought over here on a slave trader. Of course, Molly was risking a lot, since it was illegal in those days for a white woman to marry a black man. Molly was the one who gave me a love of learning that lasted my whole life. Sent me to a Quaker school, encouraged me to learn music. But most of all, I learned to trust because of her. Trust in my own abilities and trust in the land. I found in nature reason for my existence, yet I continue to search for it again and again in all I observe. And what I find is the reason I never really feel alone. For all around me, in the earth, in the water, and in the sky, is God. Land's been good to me. Father put my name as well as his on the title to these 100 acres. And I was only 6 years old, and I farmed them, planting tobacco just as he did. Even kept bees for a spell. 3 generations of Bannekers lived right here, tilling the soil and surviving, living as free men. I used to wonder why being black was such a struggle in a country that valued freedom as much as America. The nation barely carved out of the wilderness before we were fighting England for our independence. Black and white united during these years against the same laws that sent my grandmother to this country for spilling a pail of milk.
Ben, I'm still puzzled of why that letter never reached you. A month ago, longer since I sent it. I don't know how to apologize.
Oh, my dear old friend, it's I who should apologize to you for having descended on you so unexpectedly.
Now, once you've talked and Ben has rested, it ain't no trouble to turn that wagon around and head for home.
I won't hear that, Molly. You'll be our guest tonight, and most welcome.
Of course. I'd never forgive myself otherwise.
You sure you won't mind?
Absolutely not.
That's very kind. I must confess, the idea of going back today would be somewhat daunting.
That's settled then. Greenberry, I'm sure you can manage this last helping of pie.
Thank you, ma'am. I won't say no.
What I can't understand, Jonas, is I'm already late with finishing the preparations for the manuscript of the 98 Almanac. Now, if I hadn't brought it today, how'd you expect to get it printed in time?
The explanation is in that lost letter, Ben. It was hard to write. It's even harder to tell. I can't publish your next almanac.
What? Why not?
We've been doing very badly this year. The newspaper taxes our days and nights.
And pocketbooks.
Indeed. And I'm constantly harassed with the commissioners. As fast as I publish the petitions, they're seized and destroyed.
We're watched all the time.
They're searching for anything that is sympathetic to the abolitionist cause.
But my almanac contains a variety of additional information. There are poems, sowing and harvesting advice to farmers, articles
Ben, I don't have the money to publish your almanac. Unless and until things change.
Uncle Benjamin? Uncle Benjamin? I think it's about time we tell Mr. Waddington about Willow and Elijah.
Tell me what, Ben?
Greenberry met 2 runaways on the road. The man's a free black. His wife just escaped from slavery down south,
And she needs papers. I'm sorry, I cannot risk it.
It's my fault, Mr. Waddington. Just that they've been running for more than a week now, and they're hungry.
This is a terribly dangerous time to forge manumission papers. Commissioner Strode is just waiting for an excuse to shut me down.
Then I'll go and find them and stop them from coming to your house.
No, Greenberry. Jonas, if they came to your house unannounced, would you not aid them? Commissioner Strode or no?
You know where the printing plates are hidden, Sarah. Will you prepare them?
Ben, you're looking for me. Would you excuse me if I took him to his room?
Of course, Molly. Forgive me, Jonas, but I am tired. Just a little rest, and then perhaps we can talk.
Ben, I would not have wished this for the world. But things will get better.
Things must get better, Jonas.
Where's your medicine?
Right over there.
Journey took it out of you. And that bounty hunter. And what Jonas said to you down there.
Guess everybody wants to keep on working forever. Now they're telling me I'm worn out.
You work hard, Ben. Too hard. It's time to take it easy.
Take it easy.
Your health hasn't been the same since you made that trip to survey the capital city. Staying out all night long in the cold air, you've earned a rest.
Well, I came up here feeling tired and old, but you nearly got me in the grave.
Oh, I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is that you've sacrificed enough.
Studying the stars was never a sacrifice. But maybe you're right. Maybe I'm just an old man with no business trying to force his works on a world that's no longer interested.
You got another world out there that's been there a lot longer. The land.
That land is no longer mine, Molly.
You've got enough around your house for your needs. And you could tend to it like you used to. If you didn't stay up all night writing.
This almanac is a part of me, too. Just as important as the land.
I didn't come up here to argue with you, Ben. You're just so stubborn, brother. You refuse to be comforted.
We've been squabbling, you and I, since we used to steal apples from the orchard.
I'll worry about you, Ben.
No need to, Molly. Go on downstairs and finish your dinner. I just need to be alone. Think things out.
And then rest.
I worked hard all year. Never occurred to me it wouldn't be published. Maybe I was too caught up in my own success. Guess I'd forgotten what it feels like to have my work rejected. All that work. Been 7 years since I sent my first ephemeris to the Almanac publishers, and then waited for what seemed like months, only to receive letters saying they doubted a black man was capable of accomplishing such a thing. It might have been better if I'd have listened to them. But it was important to contribute, to be heard. I'd taught myself a science, alone, with help from no one. So I kept on working, risking the public view, no longer isolating myself on the land like my family had always done. I'd calculated another ephemeris, and with the encouragement of the Ellicotts and other Quakers, I decided to write Thomas Jefferson to tell him of my endeavors. What fears I had that the letter was poorly phrased, and what hopes that it could be useful to my almanac. Thomas Jefferson had written that the Negro race was void of mental endowment. I included a copy of the almanac with the letter. Sir, I freely and cheerfully acknowledge that I am of African race, and in that color which is natural to them of the deepest dye. This calculation, sir, is the production of my arduous study in this my advanced stage of life. For having long had the unbounded desires to become acquainted with the secrets of nature,
I have had to gratify my curiosity herein through my own assiduous application to astronomical study.
Sir, I thank you sincerely for your letter of the 19th instant and for the almanac it contained. Nobody wishes more than I do to see such proofs as you exhibit that nature has given to our black brethren talents equal to those of the other colors of man. And that
those two letters drew attention to my work, and with the help of James Pemberton and Senator McHenry, my first almanac was finally published. Suddenly, I found myself drawn into the politics of slavery.
Gentlemen, I would like to bring the Pennsylvania Abolition Society to order. It has come to my attention that there resides a free Negro in Baltimore County who has become a self-taught amateur astronomer. He has compiled an ephemeris for an almanac. His name is Benjamin Banneker.
Here's another example of a black man excelling in the department of intellect, to which our black brethren have usually been regarded as being illy adapted. Benjamin Banneker is not only an astronomer and mathematician, but a mechanic of the highest order, working not by patterns, but by principles.
How many examples must there be to prove their equality and manhood, and to compel the respect of all men who now hate our black brothers? Let us now pray to God for wisdom and enlightenment throughout our land.